He never stops running on the real playing field, and as we watch him both on special teams and as a player on third down, he will sometimes get after the quarterback and make the play downfield on a receiver. He's an amazing man to watch.
Bobby Humphrey finds some room and goes out over the 30 near the 35-yard line. Tackled by Eugene Robinson and Patrick Hunter up to make the tackle. When talking with Bobby Humphrey yesterday about the sore ribs, he said, boy, earlier in the week, it was hurting just to breathe.
Yeah, he said he couldn't laugh, he couldn't breathe, and Dan Reese said, well, he's only 23 years old. Maybe he'll get better later in the week, and he sure did. They first gave him a set of pads for those ribs that were a little bit too big. He had trouble hanging onto the ball that way. They've got him a smaller pair, and so far it doesn't seem to be bothering him. There's a look at the pads that he has on this afternoon. A small pair of pads that go around the rib area to protect him.
Well, he got 6 on first down, and it's second down at 4, and they give the ball off to Jeff Alexander, and Jacob Green got a helmet on him and knocked him down for a short gain. Jacob Green, 79 for the Seahawks, flew in there and put the hit on Jeff Alexander, who's been a good acquisition for the Broncos as you look at Green running out of that fullback spot.
Yeah, we talked to Bobby Humphrey yesterday about Jeff Alexander. Alexander is basically a blocking back, 235 pounds, and I said to him, what do you think about Alexander? He said, oh, I like him. I like him.
Third down short, 3rd and 2 at the 37-yard line. Elway shotgun formation. There's Alexander, and what he's done on the season is he checks out on this third down play. Winder, short of the first down. The Seahawks read that one like a book. Hunter is in on the tackle. Wyman's there too, along with James Jefferson. And Seattle's defense has shut out Elway on his first 2 possessions.
Well, the Broncos have a couple of young people playing on their offensive line. Gerald Perry, number 60, the right part of your screen, actually second-year player. And they just don't get it done up front. They have 3 different starters on their offensive line this year than they had a year ago.
Horan's second punt. His first one was 41 yards. Jefferson takes it. Fair catch called for inside the 20. A second good punt, 49 yards. Elway trying to find the answers right now. The Seahawks lead early, 7-0.
It is possible to intimidate an NFL receiver. It's possible to intimidate anybody on the football field if you're crazy enough. At that moment, you're really not conscious of it. You're just trying to hit him as hard as you can. But that hit that you make on that receiver is going to send out a message for the next team and the team after and the team after that. Deep down inside your body, you get somewhat of a tingle anytime you're able to put somebody on their back.
Honda, it's the finer points that make the difference.
When you have to travel the straight and narrow. Milk it for all it's worth.
This isn't an ad for a tropical vacation. This is an ad for Zenith's 46-inch projection television with a color picture that could only be called brilliant. If you've never owned a Zenith giant screen television, maybe now's the time to get your feet wet. Zenith. Quality.
NBC sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Honda, who invites you to test drive the new Accord. You have to drive it to believe it. And by Levi's 505 and 506 Gs.
Jim Donovan and Jimmy Cephalo back with you at the Kingdom in Seattle. Seattle's second possession of the afternoon. They took the first one in for a touchdown on a 4-yard run by John L. Williams and lead 7-0 as they start from their 19 after a second Denver punt on the afternoon. Warner finds a crease and goes out near the 30-yard line.
Tyron Braxton running down, gain of 9.
And we want to welcome those of you who've been watching the Pittsburgh at Houston game as the Oilers win big. Our score right now here at the Kingdom, Seattle leading over Denver 7-0. Jim Donovan and Jimmy Stefano along with you. 5:03 left to go here in the first quarter. Seattle scored on a 4-yard touchdown run by John L. Williams. Denver's 0 for 2 offensively. And we have a measurement right now after a first-yard run by Warner. It gets them close to a first down out near their 30-yard line. And so far, Seattle, though they are short right now, has done it on the ground. The key play on the touchdown drive was a 4th down and inches that they turned into a 21-yard running play by Warner.
Well, they have nothing to lose in this situation. 3-3 going against a team that is 5-1 in their division. If they lose here today, they can just about forget about winning the division here in the West. And so in that circumstance, why not gamble a little bit for Chuck Knox?
It really comes down to then just thinking wild card after that if you lose here today. So they need this one. As Denver checks in at 5-1, it's 2nd down and inches. Let's see if Craig plays around with us. Down right here and goes up top. Now they'll stay on the ground. And John L. Williams will be short of the first down as Mark Munford comes in along with Greg Craig in the nose tackle to shut him down. No, he's not short. They're going to give it to him. Good call, Jim, right on that play? Well, I'm not a linesman.
Well, by the linesman, a good call, but I'm not so sure if under these circumstances, again, if you wouldn't try to, as you mentioned, give the play action fake and go downfield with it. He only needed a couple of inches and gets about a yard for the first down. But, you know, under those circumstances, by the same token of why you go for it on 4th and short, go play action on 2nd and short. Try to get the big play early.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Play action fake. He dumps it off. John L. Williams makes the catch. Short gain out over the 30 to the 31 as Craig was getting pretty good pressure from the outside there. Coming in was Andre Townsend in his face.
And David Craig explained to John L. why he had to go to him and throw the ball short into the flat. John L. Williams, if you had to draw up the prototypical fullback, you would draw this man. He's got such big thighs, he looks almost deformed if you see him in regular pants. He has longer arms than normal, bigger hands than a normal human being. And because of that, he's got great ability to fend people off with his hands as a blocker, stiff arm him as a runner, and pull upfield with those big thighs.
8 of 1 on that play. 2nd down and 9. 4:01 left first quarter. 7-0 Seattle. Sidearm toss underneath, and Warner cannot hang on with Mecklenburg in on the coverage. As Craig kind of came from underneath, he looked like a submarine pitcher in baseball throwing underneath on that one.
Well, Craig he does not get the credit he deserves. When you look at his statistics over the past few years here in Seattle, over the past 4 years in the NFL, he has thrown the 3rd largest amount of touchdowns in the league, right behind Elway and Esiason. How can you fault the guy? Now he goes sidearm because he had to. The rush is in front of his face, but he's the kind of guy that will get it done a lot of ways. He can scramble back there, got a strong arm downfield, and as you see, he can improvise as well.
Shotgun formation on 3rd and 9. High snap, he handled it though. Down the middle, and he tried to get it to Brian Blades, and it's incomplete. On the coverage was Kip Corrington.
Kip Corrington on the coverage.
Out of Texas A&M. Blades down the middle at about the Denver 40-yard line. Couldn't come up with the ball. There were a lot of white shirts around there on that play.
Well, this is a well-thrown ball, though. It's dangerous, but he gets the ball over the front linebackers and in between the safety and actually hits him on the hands. It's a tough catch, but you know, when they go into the locker room on Monday and they look at the film, they'll say, hey, Brian, you got to drop on that one, babe. And it's ridiculous, and all you can do is smile at a coach and say, how do you expect me to come up with that?
You know, it looked like he peeked out of the corner of his eye at Dennis Smith, who was coming over.
What, you'll peek out the corner of your eye at Dennis Smith?
I was peeking, too, for him. First punt of the day for Rodriguez, and Rubin hits it. A knuckleballer coming down. Bell hangs onto it, and out over the 35 to the 37-yard line. 33-yard punt, and Denver shuts down Seattle that time, and we'll see if they can get on the board when we come back.
Life's full of simple pleasures, like the comfort of Levi's jeans. Or had you forgotten?
I've made up my mind. I'm gonna do it. Why shouldn't I? I'm the one who has to look at myself in the mirror every morning. So before I lose another hair, I'm going to the doctor. I know doctors have treatment programs that are proven to work. More guys are trying them every day. I'm not bad now, but I wouldn't mind looking better.
Your doctor can really do something about hair loss. So see your doctor or call this toll-free number.
Soldier Field, Chicago. Over 300 dead batteries and one die-hard battery. Our most powerful ever jump-starts every one. Die Hard. More power when you need it most.
In 13 cities and 10 countries across the Pacific, they're playing our song. United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve, halfway around the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
Long after the game is over, NBC Sports is still on the line. Dial 1-900-226-8000 for NBC Scores Plus. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Let's take a look at Rufus Porter. There he is, 97, maybe the best in the game right now in special teams.
Yeah, he really is. But look, they double team him with Braxton, number 34. And on the other side, they get him with Carrington, number 29. But he's the guy who never stops until the play is over. And he'll get double teamed throughout the afternoon, both as a pass rusher on third downs and as a performer on special teams.
Good field position down for Denver, starting out over their own 35 at the 37. They trail 7-0. We have 3:45 left here in the first quarter. Alexander and Humphrey make up the backfield. A lot of time. Elway looking for his tight end Mobley, and he was covered on the play by Melvin Jenkins. That's Clarence Kay. Clarence Kay, the tight end, covered well by Melvin Jenkins.
As Jeff Alexander limps off the field, Clarence Kay has caught just 6 passes this season, but you know, he's got man-to-man against Jenkins and doesn't give him a strong enough inside move that allowed Jenkins to simply flow to the outside and left Elway with no one to throw to.
Boy, did he have a lot of time back there in that pocket that time around. As Alexander limped off the field, that would be a big loss for them. That good blocking fullback. And there's Jeff Alexander sitting it out, obviously in some pain right now. Second down, 10. That's the first Elway miss on the day. He's now 2 for 3. A rollout for the first time. Down the middle, and it's incomplete as he throws it over the head of Melvin Bratton at the midfield stripe. So it's third down and long.
And John Elway is suffering through perhaps the most difficult portion of his professional career outside of that first couple of games when he came in as a rookie. He has been inconsistent. He has thrown a lot of low ball fastballs. This time he happens to be a bit high with it. But you see his mobility. He still sets his feet as well as anybody. But he is 27th in the NFL in passing. And as many films as I've watched of him over the past couple of weeks, it's tough to put your finger on just why he's not been successful.
And a mistake right there is pulling out was the left tackle, Gerald Perry.
Ball start. 60 offense. Jump on down.
So that will make it third down and even longer.
I'll tell you one of the reasons why Perry jumped off sides there, and as we go back to the Elway story, that is one of the reasons. But it is Rufus Porter who's going to play over Perry. He's got such a strong upfield rush that Perry has got to be worried about it. You see him moving back, and that is Rufus Porter, number 97. He creates more penalties for offenses than any player in football because of his speed.
Porter last week at San Diego, 3 sacks, and he forced 2 fumbles, stripping Jim McMahon of the football. Now it's third down and 15, and listen to this crowd. Uh-oh. There's Rufus Porter.
Now, Gerald Perry stayed in his stance a little bit too long here. He doesn't barely get a hand on Rufus Porter, number 97, going around. And that is the problem that he creates. The play before, he forces a penalty because Perry's concerned about him, and now he gets in on the sack.
Haran's punt is short, and then he gets a real bad bounce, too. Inside the 45. At the Denver 43, the ball hopped up into the arms of Steve Sewell. A 22-yard punt, and everything's going the Seahawks' way early.
21-yard punt.
Shine a light on you, shine a light on me. Keep your light shining for everyone to see.
Every day, more and more people are getting together over an ice-cold Bud Light.
Well, you can taste it, you can feel it, you know you got it right. 'Cause everything else is just a lie. Just keep your Bud Light
There's a motor oil that talks about world-class protection. Catchy phrase, but Valvoline is recommended by name in the owner's manuals of these world-class cars. The other motor oil is not. Whatever you drive, Valvoline makes the highest quality motor oil recommended by any car manufacturer. Around the world, people who know use Valvoline.
The on-off endurance test. The shake test. The impact test. You'll probably buy only one furnace in your life, so buy the one that's built to last a lifetime.
The Lennox Pulse Gas Furnace. Take it from Dave Lennox.
For home heating, for cooking, hot water, or drying, choose gas, America's best energy value.
Houston. Cleveland. And the dog pound. The Oilers battle the Browns. Next Sunday.
Back at the Kingdom, there's Chuck Knox, the third winningest active coach right now in the NFL. He picked up, I think, career win number 151 last week when they eked out that one-point win over San Diego. He said, hey, you bet it wasn't a pretty win, but at this stage in my career, a win's a win. Elway trying to get a win here today. 5-1 the Broncos, 3-3 Seahawks, and John L. Williams to the run. And a great play on first down inside the 35 of Denver, brought down by Steve Atwater, the free safety, coming up to make the tackle. Let's go around the NFL. Sunday number 7. The Eagles win. Incidentally, in the Green Bay-Miami game, the rookie Pete Stoyanovich kicked the field goal with 6 seconds left, and Miami wins. Buffalo easy, and so was Houston's game. And Minnesota got a touchdown from Herschel Walker as they win. Kansas City hangs on, and Washington does at home. New Orleans by 10 over the Rams now. The Rams lost on Monday night. Giants lead, and Phoenix big over Atlanta. 7-0 here on a John L. Williams touchdown run of 4 yards. Kurt Warner. Loose football. There's a flag down, and Dennis Smith has the football back at the Denver 20. But there is a flag down back at the 34-yard line.
Dennis Smith in the recovery.
Johnny Greer checking it out. Dennison telling you that it's probably against Seattle.
Holding. 54 offense. It's declined. First down.
Big turnover as Seattle had great field position after the short punt, Jimmy, and they just give it away.
Grant Fiesel, middle of your screen, number 54. He's the one called for the hold, but that's not the important part. The ball slips out on Kurt Warner. It really didn't look as if anybody pulled it out. It just shot out from the backside. Let's take another look and see if we can't find exactly how it came out.
Dennison made the hit on the collar, but as Jimmy said, his helmet or nothing like that got on the ball.
And how about this Dennis Smith? A week ago, he recovers 2 fumbles and forces 1, blocks a field goal. Today already, he recovers another one.
So Denver gets the ball. In motion is Melvin Bratton. He's in there for the injured fullback Alexander, and Bobby Humphrey carries out near the 25-yard line. Brought down by Nesby Glasgow and David Wyman, the inside linebacker.
36, Dallas 28.
There's Dennis Smith. He also came up with an interception last week, which was his first of the season, and broke a long slump for him. And he said after the ball game that he was starting to press a little bit, that he couldn't come up with the interception.
Well, he didn't have an interception in all of 1988, so it went all the way back to 1987. And as you mentioned, he's always around the football, so it was a great surprise to everyone.
2nd down and 5. Sammy Winder checks into the backfield along with Humphrey. Elway, a deflected ball, a flag goes down, and Humphrey cannot hang on as Eugene Robinson put the lick on him out at the 25-yard line. Let's check out the penalty situation. Elway does too. He wants to see what happened. And it's holding against Denver. He won't like that.
Getting back to the problems that Elway has gone through this season, it's tough to point some fingers, but one thing is for certain, his offensive line has not protected him as well
Holding. 60 offense.
as we get to call it. As Perry once again, right side of your screen, take a look at it, going inside against Wyman. And, oh, that's a takedown there. That belongs on Saturday Night Wrestling. But he has not been protected as well by his offensive line. He's had inconsistency with his wide receivers. Ricky Nattiel is out. has been most of the season. And those are some of the problems that Elway's had to deal with.
So in a best 2 out of 3 fall match, Harry gets the first fall right there. Second down at 15 after the penalty. 1:33 to go in the quarter. 6 defensive backs check in now for the Seahawks. Loose football on the floor. Jacob Green covers up on Elway, who goes down and picks up the football after the loose exchange. So Keith Karts and Elway cannot connect on the center snap. And thus you almost had a big turnover.
Well, if this game goes the way the season has gone between them, it looks like Elway began to pull out just a little bit too soon there on Karts, but he gets it back for the Broncos. If this game goes anyway like the season has for the Broncos, they have to establish the running attack because their passing game simply has not been there. And when they have to throw on 3rd and 20, they've been in a lot of problems.
So now the 12th man enters into the game. The crowd on 3rd and 18. Across the middle, and it is caught out at the 25 to the 26-yard line. Dwayne Harper comes in and puts the hit on Michael Young, who makes the catch, but they are well shy of the first down by about 5 yards, and so Mike Curran must come in and punt again.
Let's take a look at it. This is a planned rollout with Elway to get him a little bit more time. We mentioned the trouble they're having with Porter. That's the reason they roll him out. Young finds the hole in the middle of the zone, but what Seattle did was just wait back at that 20-yard mark. They knew they could give up the short pass.
Rufus Porter almost blocked the Haran punt. And there you see the ball down at the 42-yard line. I mean, Porter comes very close to getting the football. A 29-yard punt. Haran's last 2 punts have been horrendous. A little play on the H's right there, Jimmy. There's Porter. He is disgusted with himself. He came very, very close.
He's got great speed off the ball. That's what he does. He looks in at the football and goes right at the get-go, and one hand away from getting that punt off the foot of the punter. We talked to him. We spent some time with him yesterday. Very humble, quiet young man. He only weighs about 220 pounds. They tried to start him as an outside linebacker, but on running situations, he was not big enough to take on the rush, and so they put him in as a pass outside rushing linebacker.
He wants to get in touch with his high school coach, Roman Bates, right? Because he owes it all to him, he said. Back in Baton Rouge. On first down, here's Kurt Warner. And the Seahawks once again very effective running on first down as he goes into Seahawk territory, into Bronco territory inside the 50 at the 48-yard line.
And that has been the key all day. They've been running well on first down, and the Broncos have got to come up and stop the first down running if they're going to be successful here. It's Seattle 7-0 over Denver.
Nissan took the new Stanza to the test track to prove how well it performs in the real world. The available anti-lock brakes worked flawlessly. On the banked track, the 2.4-liter 138-horsepower engine proved itself the most powerful standard engine in its class, while the front and rear stabilizer bars made short work of the slalom course. Our test drivers were very impressed.
What are you doing? Hey, Dave, where'd you get that chin?
What's wrong with my chin?
Where'd you get that nose?
It's Dad's.
How do you shave under that thing?
Now there's a razor as unique as the Thomas face. The new Slim Twin razor system. Slim Twin has the slimmest cartridge to shave hard-to-reach places, and a choice of pivot or fixed head shaving.
Dave, I'd give Dad back his nose. What's wrong with my nose?
New Slim Twin reaches every place on every face. From Chic.
McDonald's Happy Halloween certificates. They're 10 for $1. Good for free cones and sundaes at McDonald's. Plus, you get this free window rider when you buy Who Framed Roger Rabbit on video. What a great idea.
It's McRib time at McDonald's. Grilled pork and that sassy sauce. Add fries and a Coke and you're talking chomp, but only for a limited time. The good time, great taste of McDonald's. McRib chomp.
Back at the Kingdom, Jim Donovan along with Jimmy Cefalo. Jimmy Cefalo, investigative reporter today, clearing up the mystery of what's wrong here with the turf or the scrapes and bruises that were coming here in Seattle.
A bunch of players are getting cut and scraped up by something on the turf. They finally figured out it was a chin strap, a buckle like this that was broken on the helmet of Rod Stevens, number 94, a backup linebacker for Seattle. That was one of the problems. They also found, by going over the field with a metal detector, that there was a broken bottle cap somewhere out there, and the reason that Kurt Warner got cut up was because of that cap.
All right, Jimmy, get rid of that trench coat now. Inspector Cephalo. Second down, second quarter underway. Here's John L. Williams. And he's up near a first down into Denver territory at the 45 down to the 44-yard line. The first quarter numbers will not show very good numbers for the Broncos offensively, like right off the top there.
Abysmal for John Elway and the Broncos. They've not got anything done. The passing yardage, you know, Elway all year long has been poor in that category. They're 27th in the league in passing. But it's the rushing yardage that they're concerned with here today, because Bobby Humphrey has kept this team alive over the past few weeks with his running ability, and they're not getting it done this afternoon.
7-0 Seattle. They got the first down on the run by John L. Williams inside the 45. Paul Scansey in motion. Pitch out. Warner back to Craig. Now downfield for Blades. Overthrown. A little bit of fun football here at the Kingdom.
Ryan Blades, the intended receiver. Steve Atwater, the coverage.
So razzle-dazzle for the first time today, and Craig and Warner and Blades couldn't make it click.
Well, again, it's that gambling thought that we mentioned before. This is known as the flea flicker. And actually, Craig gets the ball up, but Blades, it was thrown over his wrong shoulder. Blades had to turn one way and back to the other side. Atwater, the rookie, number 27, does a good job of getting back there.
Second down at 10, ball still at the 45-yard line. Boy, Seattle's had great field position here in the first half, and still, they only have 7 points. Big fumble by Kurt Warner the last time they had the ball. Second down at 10. Munford on a blitz. Craig got away. Warner! Great catch to the 21. Great ability to keep his feet in bounds.
Not only great ability by Warner, but it's David Craig who's stuck in the middle of the pocket. As he gets outside, he motions to Warner to get downfield, and he makes the great catch, gets his feet in bounds, and gets a 23-yard pickup.
Craig got away from the blitzing linebacker, Munford, who was coming, and Craig saw him and spilled to the sideline. Now Seattle's got it first and 10 at the Denver 21.
Take a look at it. Munford from the inside, and then Craig shows his ability to get out of the pocket and leads Warner just the right amount downfield.
Jeff Chadwick checks in as wide receiver, 3 in the game now for Seattle. Craig's got a lot of room, fires. Oh boy, in the middle of a whole bunch of traffic, Blades makes the catch at the 5-yard line. A 17-yard pickup, and it's first and goal.
Someone made a mistake, and that's exactly what Craig is saying. Scansey, number 82, is right in the middle of the field, and so is Brian Blades. Watch them. They come from opposite sides, but wind up at the same location. That's the reason for all the traffic in the middle. The Seahawks are lucky they don't get this thing intercepted. Scansey makes the move back to the corner and then comes across the field, and he either came too far across or Blades did. Nonetheless, it turns out to be a big first down for Seattle at the 5-yard line.
Simon Fletcher was down there on the tackle, first and goal at the 5. Travis McNeil, a tight end in motion. John L. Williams. Good pursuit by the Denver defense all the way around. Michael Brooks made the hit.
Scott Curtis brought him down.
As he drives him out of bounds, and so it will be second down and goal, and they actually lose a yard back to the 6-yard line.
Watch the block of Kurt Warner, number 28. I think he's going to get it on Scott Curtis, number 58. Gets him down, but it's the pursuit coming from the inside by Denver that makes the play on Williams on the sideline.
So they're back at the 6-yard line now. Second down and goal, 12:21 remaining here in the first half. Seattle leading 7-0. And knocking on the door to add to that lead. Warner out of the backfield in motion. Craig looking for Warner. Incomplete. Good coverage by Wyman Henderson on the play, but Warner looked a little bit puzzled that the ball was coming his way anyway.
Yeah, I think Craig is a little mad at himself. That was one of the most dangerous passes you'll see David Craig throw as we take a look at the 10-minute ticker again.
Buffalo rolls along, Houston does too, and Minnesota wins. Over Detroit, Kansas City, and Washington.
Third and goal.
New England jumps out with Steve Grogan starting at quarterback today. New Orleans leads over the Rams 10-7. The Giants and Phoenix, your other leaders. And it's third down and goal here from the 6. Seattle up 7-0 over Denver. Here's Craig. Williams, touchdown! His second of the day.
In our conversation with Wade Phillips yesterday, he said, on third down, we've got to get John L. Williams covered. Here, they make the mistake. They got him one-on-one with a defensive back. That's Atwater, number 27. And Williams beats him across the middle for the touchdown. Take a look at him. Right part of your screen, there's Williams. One-on-one against Atwater. Makes the move to the inside and beats him back to the out. And Wade Phillips was right on target. They got to get him covered.
Oh, almost had a bad snap there. In fact, we did have a bad snap and an excellent job of getting the ball done by Jeff Kemp to get it down for Norm Johnson. John L. Williams with 2 touchdowns, and Seattle in a must-win situation is winning right now.
In a world of distractions and unexpected turns, a car should be like a friend you don't have to talk to. The Mazda 626 is actually engineered to feel just that way, resulting in an uncanny ability to make you feel in control. At the same time, it makes you feel relaxed. The 626 from Mazda.
It just feels right.
It was Dean Witter's personal philosophy of success.
We have a sacred trust to protect our customers.
But its impact was felt on California Street,
To maintain conservative policies.
on Lincoln Street, and Acorn Street.
To put the interest of our clients first.
Dean Witter put principles before profit, people before portfolios. There are many ways to measure success on Wall Street.
We measure success one investor at a time.
Dean Witter, a member of the Sears Financial Network.
Tell me, is he still upset?
Well, you know, Dad.
Never really understood why I joined. I mean, maybe you'll go straight to college. But I had to prove something to myself first.
The GI Bill and Army College Fund. If you qualify, you can get more than $25,000 for college and an edge on life.
Do you think Dad'll ever come around? Dad?
Sunday Silence, 1989 Kentucky Derby and Preakness champion. Easy Goer. His victory at the Belmont spoiled Sunday Silence's bid for the coveted Triple Crown. Now they meet again in a race that will determine Horse of the Year. The Breeders' Cup, November 4th on NBC.
Take a look at the snap on the PAT. Jeff Kemp, number 15. Bad snap, but he gets it down in time for Johnson to kick it through. Harper LaBelle is number 85 for Seattle. He does the snapping. And Chuck Knox calls him the best he's ever seen at it. Not on that play, however.
Norm Johnson kicks it away. Ken Bell takes it at his own 2. Denver down 14-0. Oh, right over the 15-yard line at the 17. Rufus Porter is in on the tackle for the Seahawks. We'll step out right now, go to New York. An NFL Live update. Here's Bob Costas.
Okay, Jim, early second quarter at Palo Alto, the flea flicker. Grogan to Mosi Tatsupu. Back to the veteran Grogan. How many times has this twosome hooked up? It's Stanley Morgan from Grogan for the touchdown. It covers 55 yards, but San Francisco's driving now inside the Patriot 5 midway through the second.
14-0 here. Seattle leads on 2 John L. Williams touchdowns, one by land and one through the air. Ball out over the 15-yard line. Orson Mobley in motion for Denver. Elway steps up and coming back to make the catch is Vance Johnson out over the 25-yard line to the 24. Let's go back now on that kickoff and watch the play of Rufus Porter.
The Pro Bowler on the special teams. Take a look at him. He gets double teamed throughout. Number 97, middle of your screen. One person hits him. That's one. He stays on his feet. And he comes around from the backside to make the play on number 35, Ken Bell. Usually there are more than one people that run into Rufus Porter on a given play.
Sammy Winder is in the backfield now for the Broncos. Second down and 4 after a 6-yard pickup on first down. Elway fires, and Clarence Kay makes the catch out at the 30-yard line. That's good for a Denver first down. Darren Como is on the tackle. Kay, Mobley, and Kelly, the three Bronco tight ends, are all really the same way. They're so tall.
The man who is back involved with this Denver offense is Mike Shanahan, the second gentleman seated to the right.
He's the one that has the hand up to the face.
Right, the gentleman who was fired by the Raiders early October came back to Denver. Dan Reeves, talking to him yesterday, said he talked to all of his coaches. They all agreed that Mike was a big part of this team, and they brought him back.
Bobby Humphrey goes nowhere, runs into the arms of David Wyman, the inside linebacker. Incidentally, on that play before this run by Humphrey, that was Denver's first down of the game.
Also, Mike Shanahan has had a terrific relationship with John Elway through the years. And one of the reasons they brought him back is to act as a buffer between Reeves and Elway. That's not to say that Reeves cannot accomplish that feat. If you go back to Dallas, when Dan Reeves was an assistant there, he was the buffer to the quarterbacks for Tom Landry. It's just the positioning of an assistant coach. He can have a better relationship with a player than can a head man.
Mobley in motion, second down and 10. Jacob Green coming from the outside. Tip ball up for grabs, incomplete. Oh, did Jacob Green wipe out Elway? And the crowd applauds the Seahawk defense.
Jacob Green has 78 career sacks. That's the kind of pass rusher he is. He beats Lanier, number 76, to the outside. Oh, and just levels John Elway. Elway lucky to get up and healthy after that hit.
So it's third down and 10 from the 31. Let's see if Seattle really pins their ears back and come on this play. 4 wide receivers in now. Elway can't hear. He's looking back at the referee, who is holding his arm up. Let's listen to Johnny Greer. For the first time today, now the clock ran down on Elway, but of course he was looking back at the referee Greer, who was holding his arm in the air.
Now, as loud as this stadium is, this year, since the new rule has been put in place, this crowd has never been called.
No foul. No foul. Third down.
This crowd has never been called for being too loud. And in all stadiums that you would imagine, this is the stadium that is the loudest in the league.
In fact, look at what Fred Schmerlis said about this crowd here in the Kingdom. You wish you had a fire hose so you could shut them up. A little bit strong, I feel, by Fred Schmerlis. There's the warning from the official. Now, he was holding his arm up. Had he pointed at Elway, that would have meant that John would have had to run the play, right?
That's exactly right. And Chuck Knox on the sideline, if I'm a lip reader, I think he said, let him play, ump.
Elway now gets the official to point at him and says, run the play. He's looking at him again. Johnny Greer says, run the play. Incidentally, it's third and 10. He gets away. Again, but not that time. Porter got him.
Rufus Porter gets knocked down on this play. He gets blocked twice and still makes the sack. Take a look at him, 97. Coming from the left part of your screen, he gets run around once. He gets up and blocked again, and guess who makes the sack? It's number 97, Rufus Porter, an amazing player.
It's the 5th punt of the game for Mike Horan. High punt. James Jefferson calls for a fair catch, and over the shoulder, boy, he ran around that one a little bit at the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt by Horan. Dan Reeves is ranting on the sideline. We'll be back.
There is a point at which all things must evolve. For small cars, that point is here. Introducing the Mazda Protege, a small car that's expansive in room, powerful, and born of Kansei engineering, so the way it feels will change the way you feel about small cars. The new Protege from Mazda.
It just feels right.
We used to have a
chair, and my father used to come up from work every night, and he used to sit in this one chair, and all the change from his pockets would empty out into the chair. We would all go flying for that chair, and we'd take all the change and say, I did it for years.
How many people ever broke their neck falling backwards in a
How many
chair,
fathers
honestly?
broke their kids' necks leaning back?
If you fall out of a tree and break your neck, I'm going to kill you. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Levi's 100% cotton Dockers. If you're not wearing Dockers, you're just wearing pants.
In or out, in or out. That was a big one. My mother used to say that all the time. You're going to stay in, you're going to come out. Because you're going to let the air conditioning in. Yeah.
Whenever I used to watch TV, my brother Tom would always flip me out. Then we got this Magnavox Smart Window TV that lets Tommy flip through all the channels. And I could keep watching what I want to.
Now I can see what I've been missing.
And that's quite a lot.
It's 32 degrees, and Jan Trumpeter is learning all about her antifreeze the hard way.
Why is this happening to me?
Don't push your luck. Guarantee it with Advanced Formula Prestone.
NBC sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right. By Busch Beer, the beer with a taste as smooth as its name. And by the good time, great taste of McDonald's.
Back at the Kingdom now, Johnny Greer and Dan Reeves are really into it because Reeves does not feel Elway should have been forced to run that play on 3rd down when he couldn't hear. It was a heated discussion while we were away on commercial. Elway is pleading his case, but then there's Johnny Greer and Reeves. Seattle with the ball, leading 14-0. 9:31 left to go first half from Seattle's Kingdom. He had, I believe, the nose tackle. Greg Cragen was jumping. He looks like he might have been drawn across. Or did Cragen make contact? Let's check it out.
Offside, Denver.
It's going against Denver.
Encroachment, defense. Still first down.
It was the nose tackle, Cragen. Philadelphia wins, Indianapolis does too, and Miami wins on a field goal with 6 seconds left. Blowout by Buffalo and Houston and Minnesota too. Marty Schottenheimer's Chiefs win. Washington holds off against Testaverde's Buccaneers. The late game, San Francisco and the Patriots tied. And there you have it on Sunday number 7, and right here it's 14-0. Seattle. Here's Kurt Warner's short gain up to the 40-yard line. NFL Live update. Let's go to Bob Costas in New York.
Complete. No flag as Stanley Morgan.
4th and goal play. Here's the Montana flip to Jerry Rice. He knocks the pylon over, but it's only after a lengthy replay review that they rule it a touchdown. At first they said no. Apparently that was the conclusive angle. They rule it a touchdown, and with the extra point, it's knotted at 7. Jim?
2 to 39.
Thanks, Bob. 9 minutes to go here in the first half. And it is 2nd down at 2 now for Seattle with Warner and John L. Williams in the backfield. The ball is at the 39-yard line of Seattle. John L. Williams sweeping. And he'll get the first down out near the 44 of Seattle and over by the Seahawk bench.
And Seattle continues to run well on first down. They leave them with the 2nd and 3 coming out of the gun. And what you look for by Wade Phillips and the defensive people from the Denver club is to blitz a little bit on first down. Maybe stick Atwater up in the middle, or the other safety coming from the side, Dennis Smith, could try to stuff up that front because it is killing Denver right now. Seattle is just busting up the middle.
There's Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator, who right now has a tough task on his hand here today, shutting down Seattle. They are a fired up football team trying to get their first home win here today of the season. And again on first down, they find a pretty good hole off that right side as John L. Williams goes out over the 48. Coming into today's game, they were 0-2 here at the Kingdom. That's very un-Seattle-like.
Well, they've never been 0-3 during the Chuck Knox years, and so they're trying to avoid that again today. You can see the domination of Seattle. Just 1 first down for Denver.
10-1 right there, 14-0 on the scoreboard. Elway's offense has been completely shut down today. 2nd down at 5. 5 yards on that first down run by John L. Williams. Scansy in a wide receiver spot. They try Warner this time. There's a late flag going down as Kurt Warner brings it down to the 49-yard line of Denver.
Offside, Denver.
And Denver is going to get tagged here for offside. As Chuck Knox looks over at the sideline. Boy, Dan Reeves is just red hot, has been since the start of the game. Nothing's gone right. All right, coming up November 4th, the 1989 Breeders' Cup, right here on NBC. One of the most thrilling events in horse racing, the 89 Breeders' Cup steeplechase, plus coverage of one of the world's most grueling endurance races, the Western States 100. And coming in November, NBC Sports presents exclusive coverage of the 89 Breeders' Cup, live from beautiful Gulfstream Park in Florida, with 7 championship races, $10 million in prize money. The Breeders' Cup truly is America's day at the races. Close to where you used to hang out, right? You ever go down to Gulfstream?
Oh, I lived a mile from Gulfstream. It is a beautiful park, and what a terrific way to spend an afternoon at Gulfstream and watching the Breeders' Cup.
Measurement time, and they are short by inches. Look at that scowl on Dan Reeves' face.
He was not a happy man. We met with him yesterday as well. He said despite the fact that the club is 5-1, my experience with head coaches is just that. When they're losing, they're a little calmer. When they're winning, don't ask me why. It's a nervous bunch. Maybe they're fully expecting the roof to cave in, which it is doing right now to Denver.
2 tight ends in now for Seattle. Scancy in motion. 2nd down, inches. And the Warner flop goes for a first down. He scored on a touchdown last week like that in San Diego after about 3 of those, though. In fact, they got stopped on a 4th down on a dive by Warner, but San Diego had a penalty called on them, and so he got another crack and then went in. Here it is, his first of the afternoon. Good extension.
Gets submarine from right from the beginning. Actually, there was penetration inside of the Seattle line, and that's the reason why he gets clipped at the line of scrimmage and does not get a lot of distance on his lead.
6:20 to go in the half. They move the sticks. Seahawks have it at the 44 of Denver. Craig looking down the sideline for Blades. Tries to come back and make the catch on Braxton. There is no flag thrown at the 2-yard line. Well, it will be interesting to watch this one.
Well, it's Dave Craig who underthrows the ball because Blades had beaten Braxton down the sideline. Let's see if he gets pressure. He does from Fletcher, number 73, coming across. But you can see he's got a step on him. Now, that is not face guarding. I'll tell you why. As we take a look at Fletcher coming inside, the tight end releases. It's Warner who misses him, and that's the reason for the underthrow. Face guarding is only when a defensive back waves both hands in front of a receiver. Braxton did not do it on the play, and so there should not have been a call.
As you see, 2nd down and 10. Craig steps up, fires for Lewis Clark. Down at the Denver 25-yard line, a 20-yard pass play and a first down.
This is a tremendous throw by Dave Craig. This is called a double zone by Denver's defense. They have a short man and a deep man. Henderson, number 24, is short. Coming over the deep man, I believe it's Smith, number 49 it is. And Craig has got to fit it in between the Clark that makes the reception on the sideline.
Got a lot of pressure on Clark. He was expected to step in for Largent.
There you see, not much room between Smith and Henderson, and it's a good throw by David Craig.
Seattle threatening again now at the 25 of Denver. John L. Williams. Good cutback. Down to the 19-yard line, and he'll get 6 on that play before Simon Fletcher brings him down. Beautiful read by John L. Williams.
As I said earlier, he's not just a good fullback. He's a good blocker, a great receiver, runs well with the football, but he's also perhaps the best all-around back in football. This is the reason for it. You don't expect a fullback to be able to have this kind of vision to find the cutback against the defense. John L. Williams has it.
2nd down and 5. Ball is at the 19-yard line. And this time they go to Warner. And he gets tripped up in the backfield. Greg Cragen, the nose tackle, got a hand on him, and That started Warner on his way down, so he'll get no gain on the play. Yes, they'll give him a gain of 1 down to the 18-yard line, and it will be 3rd down and 4.
Now, the two people that you got to watch out for if you're playing Seattle, John L. Williams on 3rd and middle distance, about 4 or 5, and also Scansey, who they like across the middle.
He is their Mr. 3rd down.
And that's what's going on. Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator at Denver, playing a little mind game, trying to cover those two people, forcing Craig to go to somebody else.
4 wide receivers in now for Seattle. Wade starts in motion. 3rd down and 4. There's Scansey, a tough catch for him, and he can't come down with the ball as Haynes is in on the coverage. All right, it's time for an update. Let's go to New York. Here's Bob Costas.
Thank you, Jim. Moments ago, at the beginning of a press conference, which is still ongoing, Baseball Commissioner Fay Vincent announced the further postponement of the World Series. They had been hopeful of starting this coming Tuesday night for Game 3 at Candlestick. They'll put it off now at least until Friday, but they still intend to play at Candlestick Park, with Game 3 now tentatively set for this coming Friday in San Francisco. We'll have further particulars during the halftime show, but for now, the word is not Tuesday, but Friday in San Francisco for Game 3. Jim?
All right, thank you, Bob. Seattle has a big miscue on a field goal attempt of 36 yards by Norm Johnson. Jeff Kemp never saw the snap. He was looking back at Johnson. Seattle snapped the ball and hit Kemp in the face guard. Watch what happens here. He wasn't expecting the snap. Denver comes up with the football, and Seattle gives 3 points away. We'll be back to the Kingdom.
There is a fine line between a sports car that just performs right and one that feels right. A distinction you'll instantly understand when you drive the Mazda RX-7. Because suddenly, driving becomes instinctive, and the RX-7 simply an extension of yourself. The RX-7 from Mazda.
It just feels right.
It's just a pure and natural beer for you. So icy cold, so crisp, so clear. Oh, the king of beer, so fresh, so true. Oh, you got the taste, this buzz for you.
It's brewed from the choicest natural ingredients. It's beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. And best of all, it's for you.
You got the taste, this buzz for you.
Cleveland. And the Dog Pound. The Oilers battle the Browns. Next Sunday.
Back at the Kingdom, here's what happened.
Kemp was not ready for the
Not even
snap
looking.
by Grant Fiesel, and Fiesel's got to look back and wait for the signal by Kemp before the ball is snapped.
So Denver gets the ball out over the 20-yard line on 1st down. Elway's back. Jacob Green right on him. And a drop right there as Clarence Kay does not hang on to the football, and John Elway is just having a tough afternoon, although it appears as though Kay should have had that one. There's the fullback, Jeff Alexander, who went out early in the game. Now they've put kind of a walking cast on there. As he heads to the locker room, he's done for the day.
And that is one of the problems Denver is having this afternoon. He, the big blocking fullback, who's paved the way for Humphrey and Winder for most of this year. And without the big blocking fullback, they're not opening anything up in front.
Alexander to the locker room, back out on the field. His teammates face 2nd down and 10. Paul Moyer charges up to the line of scrimmage. Elway fires, incomplete. I think that Jeff Bryant got his hand and knocked the ball off to the right side, and he did. Denver has 33 yards total offense right now.
And you can begin to see the frustration in the eyes of John Elway. He's not been able to establish a running attack. His offensive line has deserted him on the passing game. And here he gets one ball knocked down by number 77, Jeff Bryant.
Well, he'll really hear it from the crowd now on 3rd down and 10. It was in this area of the ballpark in the Kingdom that he couldn't hear the last time, but was told to run the play by the referee, Johnny Greer. Not too bad this time, but that's going to be very bad as Porter can't put him down. Elway throws, and it turns into a big play as Orson Mobley makes the catch and takes it down to the Seattle 44 from disaster to a goldmine play. I mean, Rufus Porter had him ready to put him down.
Well, Porter, no one touches Porter again on this play. They've got to start double teaming him. He was just as surprised that no one touched him as Elway was. Now on the other side, it's Orson Mobley who ran a short pattern, then moves up the field for 36 yards. They doubled their total output for the day.
The first big play and the first break for Denver today. Johnson in motion, 1st and 10. Elway quickly fires, almost picked off. Melvin Jenkins got in there and almost came up with the interception.
Melvin Jenkins moved into the starting lineup today in place of Dwayne Harper, who had a tough time a week ago against San Diego. And he proves his worth here, reading the eyes of John Elway. A dangerous pass, but good closing time on the part of Jenkins, number 24. And nearly had the interception going the other way. Take a look at Nash right at the end, getting a knee of John Elway's, forcing the throw a little quicker than he wanted to.
All right, we're down to 2:43 left in the first half. Steve Sewell is in the backfield now with Elway out of the shotgun. 4 wide receivers in. 2nd down. Elway throws. A drop right there. Orson Mobley or Clarence Kay. Mobley could not come up with the football as he had it right in his hands at the 30.
I'll tell you what we have to start looking for. Gerald Perry, number 60, the offensive left tackle for Denver, is just having a fit with Rufus Porter. Porter keeps going up the field. Watch for him on one occasion to fake up the field and come underneath. There you see right part of your screen. He's pushing him wide, but after a while, it'll be Porter who'll take a step, come underneath, and John Elway had better be ready to throw it quickly.
Boy, Mobley's got to come up with that catch. 3rd down and 10. Flag is down. Elway ad-libbing. Out of the backfield, the ball is caught. Sewell's got it at the 36. Remember, there's a flag down, though, as Steve Sewell gets into the action for the first time today.
Flag on the field.
Elway indicates to the bench that it's offside against Seattle, so they'll get a reprieve.
And Rufus Porter, I think, was thinking along with us. He may have been in the neutral zone, but he did take the inside rush against Perry. He got tired of running upfield around the big guy.
All right, here comes the official call.
Offside, 97 defense. Still 3rd down.
It is Porter. It's been called on 97, Rufus Porter.
Yeah, see, they gave him some help this time with Mobley, number 89, but he does take the inside route. He's just a little bit too anxious, lining up in the neutral zone.
Jimmy, a reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game. At the conclusion of the game, you will participate in that function with me.
And I have a feeling that Rufus Porter might participate in that function as well, the way he's playing.
Right now, our early exit polls show that he is ahead in the voting. 3rd down and 5 after the penalty. 38-yard line, 2:27 left. First half, 14-0. Seattle. Elway again in traffic, but a fine catch by Steve Sewell. Sewell in heavy traffic hangs on to the football, close to a first down. In fact, Johnny Greer says you got the first down.
And the Broncos are going to try to get a play in before this 2-minute warning. They'll have to hustle, though.
I don't think so. They're huddling up. They're not going to get it off. It's going to come down to 2 minutes left to go in the half as you look at David Treadwell, who's only missed 1 field goal so far this year. He's 12 for 13. And it is time for the 2-minute warning. The Broncos showing a bit of life, and they need some, down by 14 points.
Who's left?
Kane.
Pitch or Marone is due up.
Kane.
So Burns is going to have to go to his bench. Only choice is John Kane.
Hey, kid. Get me the doc.
Burns has been reluctant to use Kane, preferring to go with the younger players, but he may not have a choice twice here tonight.
Now batting from her own, Kane.
What got into him? Napa, because there are no unimportant parts.
It's the most thrilling race in the sport of kings. The 1989 Breeders' Cup Steeplechase. Only on NBC Sports World.
Back in Seattle, the games that are going on right now. San Francisco leading. New Orleans trying to give the Rams their second straight loss. Giants in a field goal game leading over San Diego. Phoenix 21-3 over Atlanta in the second quarter. In fact, that Giant game is at the half. And right here at Seattle, 14-0 over Denver. All the scores and highlights coming up at halftime with Bob Costas, O.J. Simpson, and they'll have more on the World Series story, which is a major one now, as you have the World Series being pushed back even more. Hopefully they'll play Friday. They were going to try and get Game 3 underway Tuesday at Candlestick Park. They'll try Friday again at Candlestick Park, plus the Bill Walsh profile. All at halftime. 2 minutes to go, first half. Here in Seattle's Kingdom, Seahawks lead 14-0, Denver's deepest penetration. Elway rolling around, a lot of time, look out, getting a rush. Coming in there was Vernon Maxwell, the right outside linebacker, and Elway had to get rid of the ball. He simply didn't have anybody to throw to on that play.
One of the reasons, Rufus Porter is putting such pressure on this team, they're leaving the backs in to try to help out with him. And Elway only had 2 receivers downfield into the pattern. No one to throw to, he had to toss it away. But that's the effect that a Rufus Porter can have on an offense. He's forcing them to keep the tight end and the backs in.
Second down and 10. Now Elway has 2 in the backfield with him. Out of the shotgun. Incomplete. Orson Mobley was the intended receiver at the 20-yard line. He had 2 men on him there as Paul Moyer was over there, along with Nesby Glasgow and Melvin Jenkins. Actually 3 defenders there. Mobley looked a bit surprised that the ball came his way. He kind of flinched.
Well, it was thrown well by John Elway, though. It kind of whizzed right past his ear. Take a look at it. In traffic, but that's a pass that at least Mobley's got to get his hand on and knock it down. You can't let it fly by you, and that's an interception waiting to happen.
Mobley has had a tough first half.
Sure has.
Elway 7 for 16, 75 yards, big play, 3rd and 10. Oh, it looks like once again Gerald Perry, the left tackle, released early, and that is the Rufus Porter factor if that is indeed the call. He's got happy feet from that tackle spot.
What do you think Perry's going to dream about tonight? If it were me, I'd dream about number 97 flashing against some monster trying to beat me up, because that's what's happening this afternoon.
Yeah, that's the call. It's on Perry.
This is a psychological game now. Take a look at it. Bottom part of your screen, number 60. That's Perry looking back. He's hoping to say, please run that play the other way, and it's too late because Porter is affecting his mind as well as his game.
So the 5 yards pins them back at the 37-yard line. 3rd and 15. Rufus Porter getting ready in the starting blocks to try and get at Elway. Big rush. Goodbye. Give it to Jeff Bryant, the 3rd time today. Elway's been sacked.
And the reason Bryant was able to get inside is because the Broncos decided to try to help on Porter. See, right part of your screen, they put Winder over there. There's nobody to help inside, and Bryant gets in for the sack. Left part of your screen, Winder 23, helping on Porter on the outside. That leaves the guard inside all alone. And Juriga gets beat across by Bryant.
So a penalty and a sack takes them right out of field goal range after they were showing some life and moving. And Mike Horan is into punt. Patrick Hunter almost got a hand on that one, as Horan hits him down at the 15, and then it bounces back to the 19-yard line. Give him a 29-yard punt. And it's 1st and 10 there for Seattle with 1:01 left. Next Sunday, join NBC for week number 8 of the NFL season. That's the halfway point. It all starts at 12:30 with NFL Live. 12:30 Eastern Time. Then most of you will see a key AFC Central Division battle as the Oilers travel to the Dog Pound to face the Cleveland Browns. Some of you will see the Chargers take on the Seahawks, plus regional action. So check your local listings for the game at time in your area. Never fun going to the Dog Pound in Cleveland. Elway on the sideline. Showed signs that they might be able to get on the board, but they couldn't. So from the 19, Kurt Warner, with 1:01 to go in the half, runs it outside, and he goes outside of the 21-yard line. Brought down by Simon Fletcher. New England is tied at 10-10 on a Greg Davis field goal. The Rams continuing to trail at home.
This will be a 40-second timeout.
Giants lead 6-3 at the half. Phoenix 21-3 over the Atlanta Falcons, who picked up a win last week over New England. That's in the second quarter. And with 50 seconds remaining here in our first half at the Kingdome, Seattle leading 14-0 over Denver. Now, coming up at halftime, all the scores and highlights with Bob Costas and O.J. Simpson. And again, as you heard a little bit earlier in our telecast when we went back to New York and Bob Costas, the World Series has been pushed back once again now from Tuesday to tentative now Friday Game 3 at Candlestick Park.
When the Giants got back into Candlestick Park this past week on Thursday afternoon, they held a hitter squad scrimmage, and up in the stands, the upper section of the Candlestick Park, you had jackhammers going on, laying some concrete, trying to get it ready. But one of the problems there is also the amount of manpower required to try and put a baseball game on.
And you're talking police and all that kind of thing that has to enter in the security. 50 seconds to go here in the first half. It is 2nd down and 9. John L. Williams out to the 20-yard line, and Denver calls an immediate timeout to stop the clock because they figure that maybe they can force Seattle to punt the ball away and maybe get a crack at some pretty good field position. Now, this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Seattle Seahawks and the National Football League is prohibited. This game is the property of the National Football League, the Denver Broncos, and Seattle Seahawks, all rights reserved.
One of the other problems, and the other good choice by Denver in calling this timeout, is they forced Chuck Knox to make a decision. Does he want to put the football in the air with just 45 seconds left of the half, or do they run the football, in which case Denver has one timeout remaining and they will get the football back. So it's a good call by Dan Reeves with his timeout with 45 seconds remaining in half number 1.
3rd down and 10. They actually lost 1 yard on that last running play. 4 wide receivers in, so it's out of a passing formation now. That's Scansey coming down the line in motion. And Craig will put it up. Out of the backfield, too far in front of John L. Williams, and the clock stops now with 40 seconds left in the half. Seattle must punt from deep in their own territory. Good time management by the Broncos, as you said.
And that was a dangerous throw. That was a predetermined swing pass to John L. Williams into the flat. One thing you don't want to do is throw the ball into the flat in these situations. That's the easiest pass that's picked off for a score in football.
Ruben Rodriguez is in to punt it away. He'll stand back at about his 5-yard line. And back deep for the Broncos is Kent Bell. Had a shaky day last week at Mile High Stadium, but ended with a pretty good return. So his confidence was back. They almost yanked him out of there after he had bobbled a few punts. Here's Bell at his 37. Well, they are right on him at the 40-yard line. 43-yard punt. 4-yard return. There's Stevens, number 94, climbing out of your picture. He with the new chin strap that is not slicing and dicing anybody.
And what happened to Porter on this play? Trying to get downfield and find someone. Number 97, middle of your screen. One person hits him. That's Braxton. And downfield, well, he's right there in order to make the first hit on Bell.
And then David Wyman came in and finished him off.
You think, how many pounds do you think he loses every game? He's got to lose 5 or 6 pounds because he is continuous motion.
But he's not that big anyway, is he? I mean, Rufus Porter is 221.
Right, but you know what they told us yesterday, if you were there at our meeting? They said that the other players are mad at him because when they practice, he goes too far or too hard out.
Elway now with 29 seconds to go in the half. to the sideline for Michael Young. He's got it, trying to get out of bounds. He did not get out of bounds, and then he tried to fumble out, but the official says keep the clock going with 19 seconds to go. Denver has to get up there to the line of scrimmage. 18-yard pass play.
It is 17 and a first down.
Young out of UCLA. After that catch.
Now the clock should be running. They're winding the clock down there. I don't understand why it stopped at 19 seconds.
They had to get the sticks down there. Incompleted pass to Young over by the sideline.
But it took an awful long time for them to get the sticks in place that time, and I think that's the reason why the Seahawks were a little upset about it. It gave more than enough time for Denver. John Elway to step in and throw it out of bounds, saving that final timeout.
And Reeves yelling out to Elway, and that's what Chuck Knox is saying right now. Why? I think that's exactly the point he's making. Now, wait a minute. Why wasn't the clock starting? And he's yelling out to the referee, Johnny. Hey, Johnny, what's the story with the clock?
That saved Denver their final timeout.
Ball inside the 45 at the Seattle 43-yard line. Steve Sewell lines up wide. Chuck just with a shake of the head. He leads 14-0, but doesn't want to give up a score late. Complete to the sideline, and racing out of bounds is Vance Johnson.
And guess who got away with one on that? Gerald Perry, number 60, was leaning again, trying to stop Rufus Porter from getting upfield. They're trying to help him now. They are bringing the back, Sammy Winder, but take a look at him. A little, you know what? It's like being a little bit pregnant. You either are or you're not. You are either offsides or you are not offsides. There is no middle ground.
Jim, there's a stork right over here waiting for you at halftime. 11 seconds left. Third down and 3. Perry moved that time, I think, and they flag him. Oh, boy, this guy is underneath a microscope today.
Well, he had a tough time a couple of weeks ago against San Diego. Watch him. The other, you see the movement on him? But the other point...
I mean, he was leaning back.
Well,
his feet shifting back.
He's also lining up more than a yard off the ball, and that is another question. That is against the rules here, and he will get flagged. The reason he's moving back is to try and get an inside position on Rufus Porter. If he continues to move back off the line of scrimmage, the officials will flag him for that. He's got to be on the ball.
I think they're going to reset the clock to 11 seconds. They gave 1 second on the clock. It was at 10. Now it's back at 11. There it is. 14-0 Seattle. It's a long last minute, isn't it? Ball is back at the 42-yard line. Third down and 8. Elway airs it out sideline. Michael Young. He's got it. Nice catch by Young. Stays in bounds, then gets out. It stops the clock with 5 seconds left. They're going to try a field goal as they run David Treadwell out. Beautiful grab. Watch him, top of the screen.
And a nice throw by Elway over the man in front and just inside to get out of bounds before time expires. 5 seconds left, a 13-yard pickup.
Treadwell, 12 for 13 on the year kicking field goals. He has 50 points so far on the season.
And the only one he's missed was from 54 yards away, Jim.
46-yard field goal attempt. Kubiak will hold, the backup quarterback. 5 seconds to go in the half. Going right down the middle. Off the bar. No good. It hit the crossbar and fell down. It didn't fall over, it fell down. Watch it. The direction's no problem. Up, up, down. No good. And that's the end of the first half. Nothing went well for those guys. Into the locker room they go as Seattle leads 14-0 here at the half. NFL Live halftime activities continue after this message and a word from the National Football League.
Nissan took the new Stanza to the test track to prove how well it performs in the real world. The available anti-lock brakes worked flawlessly. On the banked track, the 2.4-liter 138-horsepower engine proved itself the most powerful standard engine in its class, while the front and rear stabilizer bars made short work of the slalom course. Our test drivers were very impressed.
As the #1 receiver in NFL history, Steve Largent of the Seattle Seahawks has faced many challenges, but none were as tough as when he and his wife, Terry, were told that their 4th child, Kramer, was born with spina bifida.
It was one of the lowest points in my life. No, I was crushed. Really just a huddled mass in the corner of the room, sobbing my eyes out.
We've been very fortunate in our circumstances in that we have the resources and the faith to pull us through a tough situation like this. But there are lots of people that aren't able to do that, and that's where the support from United Way comes in. Lots of families that need United Way to help them through a situation like this.
For us, Kramer is like all our children. Already he dreams of being a cowboy. The hopes and dreams of many children and their parents are counting on the United Way. That's why your support of United Way is so important. United Way, it brings out the best in all of us.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
NBC sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Nissan, built for the human race, and by Dr. Pepper and Dr. Pepper bottlers throughout the USA. NFL Live halftime activities will continue after these messages from your local station.
Tuesday, a cop's wife is raped.
Good God Almighty.
And a desperate husband wants revenge.
I will kill you.
Emmy-winning Carol O'Connor, the season premiere in the heat of the night. Then in the city of San Francisco, a cry for help.
Tonight, the subject is life and death.
A powerful midnight caller following the season premiere of In the Heat of the Night, Tuesday.
Cars cost less than Napa, and so do pickups at Tom Scott Mazda. As a matter of fact, going on right now, we've got ourselves a clearance sale of the 4x4s. And after rebate, you can pick one of these up for as low as $97.67. Now, wait a minute. $97.67. Largest 4-cylinder engine of its kind in its class. The all-new fuel injection, various colors, including pink. Oh, I guess we're out of pink, so how can you go wrong? Cars do cost less than Napa at Tom Scott Mazda.
Ooh, what a cruncher. And look at that quarterback crunch. Here comes another quarterback crunch ice cream from Triangle Young's. Look at this, fans. Nuts and cookies and chocolate and caramel all mixed up in super rich vanilla ice cream. Oh, how could you ever watch a ball game again without a dish or two? You couldn't. So go to the store and get plenty. Quarterback crunch ice cream from Triangle Young's. 100% Idaho.
You're watching KTVB in Boise, Idaho's news channel.
Good afternoon, I'm Garrett Utley, and this is a halftime report from NBC News. Assassination. Under a presidential order, it is illegal for our government to kill a leader of another country or participate in foreign plots which we know could result in a foreign leader's death. For example, General Manuel Noriega at Panama. And today there are some new revelations from those close to the White House about further limitations on the president's ability to move against Noriega. Andrea Mitchell, our chief congressional correspondent, has learned the details.
NBC News has learned that under classified guidelines agreed to by the Reagan White House and the Senate Intelligence Committee, and still operative, the United States would have had to, in effect, warn Noriega or any other foreign leader of an impending coup that could have endangered his life. In fact, the guidelines go so far as to require the United States to guarantee Noriega's safety. Congressional sources say President Bush complained bitterly about these restrictions in a meeting last Tuesday with Republican senators, going so far as to read sections of a classified 1988 letter from the Senate Intelligence Committee to the Reagan White House. Those present said the language would tie the president's hands in the event of a coup, require that the U.S. notify Noriega in advance, and guarantee Noriega's safety. But while Bush was blaming the Senate Intelligence Committee for, in his words, micromanaging foreign policy, congressional sources said those restrictions had been supported by the Reagan White House in letters to the Intelligence Committee from former National Security Advisor Colin Powell and CIA Director William Webster. Both now serve in the Bush administration. Before the coup attempt, the Bush White House never asked for changes. This despite the fact that Bush's policy since May has been to encourage the Panamanian Defense Force to overthrow Noriega.
We'd love to see him get him out. We'd like to see him out of there.
No, I would add no words of caution.
The will of the people should be implemented.
A leading member of the Intelligence Committee says Bush's reading of the classified restrictions to Senate Republicans Dole, Caston, Lugar, Mack, McCain, Simpson, and Wallop, some of them without intelligence clearance, comes close to a violation of law, and that the American people are being misled by the highly selective nature of these leaks. Intelligence Committee Chairman David Boren told NBC News there are ambiguities in the record, both from the congressional end and from executive branch policy statements. It's time to stop bickering and work together to develop a clear and appropriate policy to help the country in the future. Before reviewing the record and rereading the Reagan-era letters, Boren had denied that Congress was limiting U.S. action against Noriega.
The Senate Intelligence Committee has never turned down President Bush on any matters related to this subject in Panama, nor have we ever denied him any funds.
Boren told NBC News that he and the president were dismayed to discover ambiguities in the orders covering coups and assassinations. Both agree the policy needs to be rewritten immediately. In fact, NBC News has been told that the Senate Intelligence Committee has already started drafting new secret guidelines to give the president more flexibility. Andrea Mitchell, NBC News, Washington.
And now an update on Buck Helm, the man who lived for 4 days under Interstate 880 after being buried and trapped by the earthquake. The hospital in Oakland, California says this: condition still critical, vital signs stable, prognosis guarded. The search for other victims continues, although none was found today. Here's Don Oliver.
Through this hole, 18 inches by 2½ feet, Buck Helm emerged from the rubble of Interstate 880.
It's amazing they were able to get through there.
The 57-year-old Helm, a longshoreman, is in critical but stable condition. Doctors at Oakland's Highland Hospital are most worried about his damaged kidneys.
His condition is the same or a little bit better today than it was last night, and we still have some significant concerns about his health, and that he's not out of the woods yet.
Helm's former wife and their 4 children have made one public appearance, an emotional one.
Our hopes were getting pretty dim, but we said if anybody can make it, Buck can make it.
That's it. It's over.
All right.
Rescue workers say finding Helm alive has increased morale. Reduced winds have made work on the damaged structure possible. So far, 38 bodies have been found and 36 of them identified.
Don Oliver standing by at Interstate 880. Don, is there any hope of finding any other survivors alive there? And what is the final death toll estimated to be?
Well, the doctors say that Helm could have lasted perhaps another 3 days, so there might still be people alive in there. However, there are sections that are still inaccessible because they are so dangerous to move around on. It is going to take them a couple of days to get the freeway shored up, and that means the chances will become less and less. Garrick?
And I expect also to be a very busy rush hour tomorrow morning when people go back to work on Monday. Don Oliver, thank you very much. That is the news at this hour. I'm Garrick Utley, NBC News in New York.
This is Bob Costas in New York. The World Series has been further postponed. They had tentatively hoped to play this coming Tuesday. They are now hopeful of playing Friday, October 27th, toward the end of this coming week, again at Candlestick Park. We'll have details in a moment. But first, quickly through the NFL scores. Halftime in Palo Alto, and the 49ers lead the Patriots 17-10. New Orleans leads at Anaheim over the Rams. The score there 19-7. Seattle with a 14-0 halftime lead over the Broncos at the Kingdome. They've just gone to the third quarter in San Diego, and the Giants with a surprisingly slim 6-3 lead over the Chargers. Phoenix, halftime at home, up on the Falcons 21-6. These are finals from earlier today. Bo Jackson had 79 yards, but not enough. The Raiders lose at Philadelphia 10-7, Art Shell's first defeat. Indianapolis overcomes Cincinnati in Cincinnati 23-12. Eric Dickerson 152 yards and a touchdown. Miami holds off another late Green Bay rally. They prevail at Joe Robbie Stadium 23-20. Buffalo wins big over the Jets. Frank Reich filling in for the injured Jim Kelly. 34-3, the final score at Rich Stadium. Houston, an easy winner at home against Pittsburgh, 27-0, 3 touchdown passes for Warren Moon. Herschel Walker with his first Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings win at Detroit, 20-7. Kansas City with Christian Okoye scoring 2 touchdowns and rushing for 171 yards. Takes Dallas to a record of 0-7, the Chiefs 36, and the Cowboys 28. And Washington holds off a Tampa Bay rally in the fourth quarter at RFK. The final score, a Redskin victory, 32-28. Now let's go out to San Francisco, where Gail Gardner is standing by. And moments ago, the press conference involving Commissioner Fay Vincent and San Francisco Mayor Art Agnos was still going on. I don't know if they've concluded it now or not. Looking in the background, it appears it has just broken up. Gail, as you understand it, what were the primary considerations in announcing a future, or an additional, I should say, postponement of Game 3 of the World Series?
Okay, Bob, they had basically three major considerations that went into the decision. First, they wanted that ironclad assurance that they could, in fact, play at Candlestick Park, that it is safe for public occupancy. They are getting survey reports tonight. They believe it will be safe. They believe they can certify the park. The second thing was the flow of traffic. They had great concerns about that. They will see how the traffic flows tomorrow, and they've given themselves thus extra time to take care of any problems that should turn up. And the third thing was having enough law enforcement at the ballpark itself and also at the earthquake sites that have been left vulnerable. They feel they will have that as well. So basically, on all three cases, they feel they are okay, and that's why they've gone ahead, made the postponement, and feel that they can play starting Friday.
Okay, Gail, thank you. And the important thing to emphasize here, although there will be a further check between now and Friday, Commissioner Vincent was very emphatic in saying that so far as he knows right now, he is satisfied that Candlestick Park is structurally sound. The additional postponement because of additional factors, not the structure of Candlestick. And we're back after these messages from your local station.
It's called the Ghost Lights, a mysterious, unexplained phenomenon.
It is not man-made.
A formal investigation uncovers a startling secret. It was a romantic getaway that turned into a violent nightmare.
She'd been raped and murdered.
And the killer is still on the loose.
It's likely that he'll continue to do that.
You can help catch a criminal on Unsolved Mysteries Wednesday.
It's almost over, but it's not too late. All brand new 89 Lincolns and Mercurys are now priced below factory invoice. $4,000 below factory invoice on some models. Yes, while they last, all new 89 Lincolns and Mercurys are priced below factory invoice.
All remaining 89 simply must be sold.
Please, don't miss your chance to save like never before.
None will be held back.
At Dick Dollar Lincoln Mercury, give us a chance. We will save you money.
This is KTVB, Channel 7 in Boise, Idaho's news channel.